My name is Francesca Froy and I'm based at the LEAD programme at the OECD in Paris. I'm just going to provide a brief summary of some of the key issues that it's important to take into consideration when designing a local skills strategy. In Maryland, the state of Maryland in America, the promotional slogan of the Workforce Investment Board is "Workforce development is economic development." And the sentiment behind this, that education and people and skills are becoming increasingly important to economic development, is reflected in many OECD countries. Over the other side of the world, in Griffiths in Australia, the first priority of the Regional Development Agency is improving education and skills, as opposed to the other two priorities, which are sustainable development and inward investment. This is not surprising given the importance of skills, and that is the ability to process complex information, to be creative, to problem solve, are becoming very important within the knowledge economy. It's estimated that by 2010, over half of European jobs will require a tertiary education, that is a degree. And this is already having impact on employment rates. So within OECD countries, 84% of those with a tertiary education are in work, whereas only 56% of those without an upper secondary education, so that's an A-level or a baccalaureate, are in work. We've been looking in particular at how local development officials, agencies can try to respond to skills issues which are affecting their area. We found a great variation between localities in terms of the skills issues they're facing, not only in terms of the supply of skills, but also the demand of skills. So whereas in some areas low demand for skills and low supply of skills come together, so there's a low-skilled equilibrium, the bottom left-hand corner of this diagram, in other areas, there's high demand for skills and low supply, leading to skills shortages. In fact, where everybody would like to be is in the top right-hand corner of this diagram, which is a high-skilled equilibrium where demand and supply are aligned. But this is a very difficult place to get to. We've been looking at how localities design skill strategies, and we've identified that there are three main priorities that everybody working in the area of skills now needs to consider. First of all, we need to look at attraction and the retention of talent. Secondly, we need to look at integration issues, so how you integrate talent into the labour market. And thirdly, we need to look not only at perhaps unemployed people, but also at people who are in work, the low-paid, low-skilled workforce. And it's very important that we develop all of these strategies together because there are important trade-offs and synergies between them. At the same time, all localities need to have an eye to the future. They need to anticipate what's happening in the global economy and how that might relate to key sectors within their economy, but also key opportunities, local opportunities. But it might not all be about planning for sectors that might be important. It's also about ensuring that people have the generic skills to adapt and that they're able to access lifelong learning so that they can access education throughout their lifetime, whether they're in work or out of work, so that they can adapt to new skills needs as they occur. And finally, it's not just about working with the supply side, it's also about working with employers with the demand side. I talked earlier about the problem of low-skilled equilibrium, where low demand is matched by low supply. This is a critical issue where employers also need to be involved in changing the way that they organise their working practices so that they can actually utilise skills better. They can raise employment opportunities, they can raise incomes. So this is a challenging area for public sector people to get involved in. And often brokers are very important in terms of working with the private sector to ensure that private sector people respond to the new challenges of the knowledge economy. It's not just important to plan a strategy. Obviously, a crucial issue is making it work. And the governance also, the people you involve, joining up disparate services, making sure that you can balance resources and also clearly allocate priorities to partners are obviously all crucial elements in addition to identifying and planning a local skills strategy. Thank you very much for your attention.